Last year, Volvo gave us their first ever all-electric vehicle, the XC40 Recharge. This year, they've given the car a coupe-like treatment in the form of the 2022 Volvo C40 Recharge. Mechanically, it is the same as the XC40 but with a coupe-like SUV design that everyone seems to want these days. Now, before we go any further, I originally wanted to compare this car against the Jaguar I-Pace. Unfortunately, the Volvo started acting up and it had to get returned for repairs. I'll get into what happened a little bit later in the review. But in the meantime, let's go for a drive. The Volvo C40 comes standard with two electric motors that power the front and rear axles. Combined, they have an output of 402 horsepower and 486 pound-feet of torque. That is quick enough for a 0 to 100 km/h time of around 4.5 seconds. Pretty good for something that tips the scales at almost 2.2 tons. Providing the power to the motors is a floor-mounted battery pack that has 75 kilowatt hours of usable energy. It allows the 2022 C40 to drive for up to 360 kilometers. That is on the low side when compared to other EVs like the Tesla Model Y or the Hyundai Ioniq 5, but it is about the same as the Jaguar I-Pace. Recharging the battery can be done at a maximum of 150 kilowatts, and from 10% to 80% in about 33 minutes. From the fastest level 2 charger, it'll be around 8 hours from 0% to 100%. One of the best driving experiences of the Volvo C40 is the effortless use of the one-pedal drive mode. It makes rush hour commutes a breeze. The car can be smoothly controlled right down to a stop with just slight movements of your right foot on the accelerator pedal. If you need to use the physical brakes, the pedal is firm and the brakes stop the car with authority. When you're not in a rush hour commute, the Volvo C40 Recharge isn't quite as sporty to drive as the Jaguar I-Pace. The steering is on the numb side and it feels a little bit too light. It can be adjusted for a firmer feel, but it's just too artificial. That being said, the C40 is planted around corners with the body roll kept in check by the suspension. It does tend to understeer when pushed to its limits, but at least you will never have to worry about snap oversteer. In other words, it's as safe as Volvos get. With the 20-inch wheels, the 2022 Volvo C40 Recharge has a firm but not uncomfortable ride. You will feel the bumps in the road, but the suspension rounds off the corner so that they don't feel too harsh in your seat. Speaking of which, Volvo makes some of the most comfortable seats in the business, with enough padding and enough adjustments for various body sizes. Front occupants have a generous amount of space, with legroom and headroom being plentiful for tall adults like myself at 6'4". The back seats are a bit more cramped in the vertical direction though. Due to the sloping roofline, headroom is very tight. Legroom though is good behind my tall driving position. Cargo space is on the small side with just 489 liters with the rear seats up. When the seats are folded, the cargo capacity increases to 1,205 liters, which is still quite a bit less than the Jaguar I-Pace. But the C40 does have a small storage compartment under the hood for smaller items. As for the interior design, the C40 Recharge shares almost all of its interior with the XC40, from the tablet-style touchscreen to the steering wheel to the seats to the center console. This particular car has the optional fjord blue carpet, which looks great in photos and videos. In reality, there is a reason why carpets are usually black. The driver's side carpet was starting to have stains on the floor mat, and this car had only about 5,000 kilometers on the odometer. Each of these cars go through a thorough cleaning process before the next journalist gets into the car, and it's done by professionals, and yet even they couldn't get the carpets looking like new. Just take a look at the driver's side carpet and compare it against the passenger side carpet. Again, the blue looks great, but not very practical in the real world. The 2022 Volvo C40 Recharge starts at $59,950 Canadian. This demo vehicle was equipped to the price of $75,500 Canadian. It can be equipped like a luxury vehicle should be. It has heated seats in all four corners, a heated steering wheel, a panoramic moonroof, which doesn't open, surround view cameras, LED headlights, power liftgate, Harman Kardon sound system, dual zone climate control, and many more features. The car also has Volvo's new infotainment system, which is now Android Automotive based. It has Google built-in services and apps such as Google Maps and Google Assistant. It looks similar to Volvo's old Sensus system, so if you're used to that system, you should be fine with this new one. However, I have had a couple of minor issues with this new system. When I first picked up the car, the GPS system could not reconnect with the satellites, so Google Maps didn't work until after restarting the car. The next day, the entire infotainment system stopped working while on my way to work. Nothing on the screen worked. I could not change the climate, the radio station, the heated seat controls, absolutely nothing. I had to pull over, turn off and lock the car, walk away so that it stopped detecting the key, and then restart the car before it all worked again. Now, infotainment systems sometimes do crash. I've seen it happen before. But this just further proves my point that climate and seat controls should not be integrated into the infotainment system. They should be separate physical controls. As well, the Volvo C40 has the same keyless start system as a Tesla. You just get into it with the key somewhere on you and put the car into drive and go. This is the main reason why the car had to go back for repairs. After a few days, the car stopped recognizing the key. I could not lock or unlock the car with the key fob. I tried changing the battery, but no luck. The car still ran, but only if I placed the key in the center console. But it would display a message to call SOS services. I pressed the button a few times and nothing happened. I also left the car overnight, unlocked, to see if it would reset itself. Unfortunately, no luck. So it had to go back to get its software fixed because I did not feel comfortable leaving an almost $80,000 car unlocked out on the street. As it turned out, the over-the-air update was somehow disrupted, and because of that, it needed to go back to a dealership to re-upload the software update. After which, the car worked just fine. But this happened at the end of the week, so unfortunately, my time was up with the Volvo C40. On the safety side of things, the Volvo C40 is one of the safest vehicles out there, with the car earning a Top Safety Pick Plus from the IIHS. It scored well in crash tests and received good marks for the advanced safety and driver aids. The car can also be equipped with an excellent pilot assist system that can aid in making boring highway drives a little bit more comfortable. It's not a hands-free system, but it does a great job of keeping the car centered in the lane. In the end, putting aside all the issues with the demo vehicle, the 2022 Volvo C40 Recharge is a good first attempt from Volvo at making an EV. It's not perfect, however, because there are less expensive EVs out there with more driving range. If I were comparing it against the Jaguar I-Pace like how I had initially planned, this feels a bit more city-friendly, whereas the Jaguar I-Pace is for those that want a more spirited driving EV. But just like the Jaguar, it would be difficult for me to recommend this vehicle because of the reasons I just said earlier: price and range. If you'd like to know more about the 2022 Volvo C40 Recharge, I wrote a more detailed review of it over on my website. You can find that link in the video description or click on the pop-up banner in the top right corner. And as always, I will see you in the next car or truck or most likely another SUV. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.